Welcome to Out Loud with Rob and Rachel. This is what happens when two ADHD brains come together and think out loud.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining the Out Loud podcast with Rob and Rachel. How you doing today?
I'm great. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun doing a podcast. And the other day, I shared a post on my personal profile about Shrekking.
Which I, by the way, had zero knowledge of up until that point.
Yeah, me too. I didn't see it. I actually saw a video on Instagram about it. It was a different one than I shared because I couldn't find it on Facebook. So you want to say what Shrekking is? Or you want me to?
No, you have to say it because I'm still not 100% clear on it.
So Shrekking is when somebody dates a partner or picks a partner that's traditionally much less attracted than they are. Mm-hmm. So this way here, they feel like they'll treat them very well.
And they'll be more loyal.
Loyal.
Okay.
Which I can argue that all day long, how that doesn't work.
How it doesn't work.
Okay,
I was going to say, I don't think it works either.
But do you know why?
Well,
and this is just Robism.
So let me now then sort of explain what I got from that that I'm on the same page. So it means that somebody's dating somebody who they know they're above.
Right.
Like, so they are basically out of that other person's league. Mm-hmm. Like, almost like unattainable to that other person.
And the other person knows it. Yeah, that's the big part of this.
So here's my first question, though. How is that other person not suspect right off the bat?
I don't know. But I
mean, wouldn't that make the other person feel like crap?
Maybe. Yeah, I would think so.
So now tell me why you think it doesn't work.
Because it doesn't work on the guy's side.
On the guy's,
because once a woman sees a man, this is a George Costanza thing. If you remember George had a picture of his girlfriend that was a model, and he would show everybody that all the other girls were all of a sudden attractive to him.
Because George, yes.
There must be something about him if he has an attractive girl.
There.
And I think women would be intrigued by an average looking man who doesn't make a lot of money.
So you think...
wow.
So you think that then all of a sudden he would become a hot piece of meat?
Not a hot piece of meat, but intriguing. All you have to do is be intriguing. You don't have to be to get things started.
Okay.
You're right. So... do you remember that episode?
I do remember that episode. And do you know who's coming to mind right now as you're saying that? Pete Davidson.
Right?
Yeah. Because, what's going on there?
And he got influential women who had their own money.
I know.
Yeah, so, well, you know the rumors about him, though.
I know.
He said it's not true.
That's what you have to wonder, right?
Right, yeah. Intriguing.
What's the attraction?
Right, but that's an intriguing part of it, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. He got rid of all his tattoos, too.
I saw that.
Yeah.
He had them, lasered off, right?
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, so...
he's now conforming. Oh, see, now maybe then he will become now in that next league.
I don't know, yeah.
So maybe. Can the person... That's an interesting concept. Can the person then level up? What if they have a glow up now? You have given them now the confidence to become a different person almost, and they have this glow up. Oh, and then the player just got played. What about that?
Well, actually, this is funny because I never thought of it. That actually happened to me in my 20s. Somebody I was kind of dating just changed my whole style. I was just like a regular guy. And I all of a sudden overnight, I became like a hipster, like literally overnight. Then all of a sudden I had all these other opportunities.
See?
Yeah.
And
so someone Shreked me. I didn't even know it before.
Well,
I was Shreked.
He just discovered that in real time. Because I said before, I don't know that I've ever been Shreked. I mean, I don't think I've dated enough. I think I would know if I got Shreked, right? Like you said, I haven't. I mean, that's wow.
Yeah, I was Shreked. But I think...
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I think some woman sees the potential.
Well, that's true.
You know, man.
So do you think there's a difference in the women Shrekking version and the man Shrekking version? Like, do you think they Shrek for different reasons?
I think women might Shrek. I'm going to be called sexist after all these podcasts. I mean, a little bit, whatever you got to do. But maybe for power, control.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's
mean,
sexist at all. I think that's just there are some men who would like more control in the relationship.
Right.
Than certain women would allow. So I don't know that that's necessarily
Right, yeah.
sexist. I think
it's like a control. It's like a control thing.
So then what would the woman would do it for the loyalty, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Like the motive for the woman, I think, would be loyalty.
Right.
I know for the way that I would think, the logical, I guess, explanation would be that somebody who isn't as attractive to other people wouldn't stray as easily, I guess, right? So you would know that, or you would feel a little bit more secure in the relationship.
Yeah, so like a low self-esteem type of thing. Yeah,
I would think. Yeah, interesting that motives for men are from Mars and women are from Venus, right? I mean, that there's a reason that book was made and it was so popular.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
So on the Shrekking, which first of all, I have to point out that I think it's really funny that Shrekking is now a verb.
Right.
Okay, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
That all of these words just change tense.
Right.
I had a conversation with my kids about all the new words, and
a lot of nouns have become verbs.
yes.
Yeah,
and I'll say to them, how do you use that specific? None of them are coming to mind right now specifically, but I would say to them, how do you use these in a sentence? And they say, oh, however you want. They're like, I don't get it. What do you mean? So you can just make it a verb wherever you want it to be a verb, and then a noun if you want it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's about right.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And the dictionaries are
picking up.
Are doing that.
I know.
Yeah, they're accepting even 6'7's a word now. It's actually a word in a dictionary, from what I understand.
I don't know that I have many words for that.
And it's two numbers. It's not even written 6'7". It's the numbers.
Is there a slash in between?
I don't even know. I just saw it really quickly.
7?
Maybe it's fake news. I don't know.
I was a sick 7 as my Halloween costume this year because I am sick and tired of hearing my students say 6, 7 and do that 6, 7 or whatever that ridiculous thing is.
Yeah.
I can't even hand out the Chromebooks in my classroom in order. I have to skip to 8 because if I go from 6 to
7,
it starts chaos and mayhem in my classroom, and they dance and they do the whole thing, and it takes a lightning rod to bring them back.
So let me ask you something. Do you know anybody who you feel Shrek now that you know what it is?
I would need to think about that for a second.
I know some divorces that were Shrekking for some.
I mean, I don't know that. No. Oh, so someone would Shrek and then, well, if they wind up with them, then, I mean, is it really Shrekking at that point?
I don't know.
Like, is Shrekking a long-term thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you just stay with the person for the rest of your life?
Mm-hmm.
But what if you fell in love with them? Here's me, the girl.
It's still Shrekking.
So the pretense of the relationship was built on Shrekking.
Yeah.
And then you grew to love the person?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think that Shrekking is more, the guy is Shrek mostly, I would imagine.
The guy is Shreked.
Absolutely. I would think so. So the first time, if you're dating somebody, right?
Okay.
If you're dating somebody, your friends, the first thing they're going to ask is, what do they do for a living?
Okay.
Right? If a single guy is dating somebody, the first thing they ask, what does she look like? Right? So that's why. So, yeah. So if, it's, you never noticed that?
I mean, I
don't care I don't give a shit what my friends are dating, my guy friends are dating somebody, what she does for a living. Like, it's like, what does she look like? You know, like that's the first thing that comes to mind.
I mean, yeah. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Okay, go on.
Do you know why that is?
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
No.
Why you would ask? Because men are visual, right?
No, women are visual. Really?
So then what?
Right? No, it's not that. It's because no matter who we date, like a man dates, we feel like we're never going to be a part of your money anyway. If you're making less or more, right? It's like,
what?
Yeah. Yes.
Right now, I'm the emoji.
Yeah. Right. So it doesn't make a difference to us. If Beyonce worked at McDonald's.
Wait a minute. I have to process that for a second. So the man says or thinks that no matter what you do or how much money you make, you're never going to be a part of that money?
Yeah, it's not ours, even if we're married.
I need to know why. Can you explain that a little bit?
It's just
again. Rob's married. I've never been married, so this is so intriguing to me.
It's just societal. I mean, we're expected to pay for dinner, and I agree with all that. Like
that's a chivalry, right? Would you say that's a little bit chivalry?
Yeah. But I'm a traditional.
So
still,
am I.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
If a married couple lose their house, no one says the woman should have worked harder. It's why didn't the man get his act together? Like there's different social pressures for a man than a woman.
You know what I just saw interestingly on the
do you agree with that?
There's different societal pressures for a man than there are for a woman. 150%. Right. I absolutely agree with you on that. You can't. That's not deniable. But on the flip side of that, I just saw something that said, why are men never called working dads?
Right.
Why is it always just working moms?
Yeah.
So that's the other side of that, actually.
Yeah.
That, like, why are moms always supposed to be the ones that are in charge of, like, the household and all of that?
Yeah.
Why is it just a societal assumption that the woman is the keeper of the house and the man is the keeper of the finances?
Well, women call themselves that.
You think?
A lot. Oh, absolutely.
A working mom.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like I can't call myself a working dad. I'll be made fun of.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I was very involved with my children growing up. Like, as much as my wife, I would say we were equals with that stuff.
Again, it's so hard for me because I'm the only.
Yeah,
parent.
right.
So for me, it's like I'm the mom, all of it, no matter what. So like to say working mom, non-work, like I don't have a choice. So for me, I don't think like that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, maybe because traditionally the mom stayed home.
Yes.
Again, it goes back to what I said. We don't look for the guy doesn't look for the woman's money because your money, even if you're making more, it's considered extra. It's considered extra money.
So that's an interesting concept. And I'm going to relate it back now to my dating because when my kids were younger, I'm a single mother by choice. My kids don't have a dad. They know that. It's not something that's a shock to them. We've been talking about it since they were old enough to understand it. At every level, I've sort of intensified the explanation. But when they were younger, and I dabbled in dating a little while, and then I was like, I don't think so. And I sort of said, I'm coming out of this until my kids are old enough, because if anybody's going to mess up my kids, it's only going to be me. Like, I brought them in. The drama of a relationship is not going to mess my kids up. But when I did dabble, what I realized was as soon as I told, they would ask me, you wrote single, not like widowed or divorced. What does that mean? You're a mom.
Right.
And I would say, right, I'm a single mom by choice. And one time a guy actually, as soon as I like explained that to him, he was like, yeah, I don't think this is going to work out.
Oh, that's funny.
And
not funny, but interesting.
I think, and I realized that at that level, the man was almost looking for like that thought that I was looking for somebody to like financially take care of my children and me.
Or not even, maybe even emotionally.
And emotionally,
yeah, probably
right.
more of that,
and
yeah.
What's funny to me is that I would never have gone through the path that I went through if that's what I was looking for. It's very easy to find a partner.
Yeah, sure.
But now it makes sense because the men are supposed to, I mean, not that it didn't make sense then, but back then I was like, you know, dude, I'm pretty good on my own over here. Yeah. Like, I don't need you, but I get it. I get why men would lean that way is what I'm saying.
And this analogy has been said over and over again, but it's kind of like Beyonce. So if Beyonce wasn't rich but she looked the way she did and she worked at McDonald's, she would be fine somehow, right? She would find a guy that would get her over the counter. Now, what would happen if Jay-Z wasn't rich and he worked behind the counter?
Well, I mean, all you have to do is look at Empire State of Mind, that song that he wrote. He says, I was an IEP kid. In the thing, he says, I was an IEP kid. He admits it, that like, it's funny that you say that. I always use that song and Jay-Z as for example for my students, because like, and I'm now going from dating to ADHD because that's what I want to talk about.
All right.
Enough about my dating life. Enough about this. Jay-Z was able to tap into his genius artistically, but academically it was looked at as a learning disability.
Right.
Because back when he was in school, nobody gave him the opportunity to display his genius in a way that he was comfortable doing it. So I sent you the other day that thing about these signs or what it means to be ADHD and what it doesn't mean to be ADHD. And we started a conversation because you didn't really know that that's what it was.
Yeah, I had no idea that was ADHD.
While you're doing that. And then you explained why. You had no idea when I said it to you.
No, I had no idea I was ADHD. I just thought I was a little different. And then Rachel just would mention it once in a while that you're totally ADHD. And then when you reread the text, it's like, how the hell can anybody follow it? But you do a pretty good job. But
I'm all over the place too with text.
Yeah. You are. Yeah.
And conversation because I'm the same exact way.
Right.
But I'm not an expert on ADHD.
No, either am I. But I will be soon.
I know. I was really,
yeah.
Which is such an
I'm an expert on
ADHD
introversion.
Trait, by the way. That is an ADHD trait, wanting to know everything.
Yeah, I'll know everything about it.
Whatever it is that you are interested in.
Yeah.
And so I sent Rob this thing.
And it's an introvert trait, by the way.
What is an introvert
The same
trait?
thing. Like.
Well, very often people with ADHD are. I'm an introverted I'm an extroverted introvert, right? I can do very well in social situations. You would never know it if you don't know me, that I love to curl up at home and I could never leave for days and I'd be okay with that.
Right. Yeah.
I could shop by myself. I can eat at a restaurant by myself. Like I'm totally okay with being alone.
I love eating alone.
Yeah. I've gone away on vacation by myself.
Yeah, I would do that too.
I have no problem doing any of that. I mean, I don't think that I could have survived as a single person for this long without doing that. But what I wanted to say, this one thing, so I sent Rob this list of traits that are very common in people with ADHD. And you wrote me back that number 5.
Yeah. A lot of them. 5 was just spot.
So, and I'm going to read to everybody what number 5 says. Number 5 says that ADHD people are wired for risk and reward. ADHD minds, and this is from Business Logics. It's not a plug or anything. It's just something that I came across looking for ADHD resources. ADHD minds lean towards risk-taking, vision, and bold decisions. That's why many entrepreneurs and innovators have ADHD. They struggle in rigid systems, but excel at building their own. And your immediate response was, I could never work for someone.
Well, yeah, I don't think I'm even hireable. In a way, yeah. I think now I am. When I was...
That's so...
Now, the reason why I get involved with certain things locally and politically is because there's somewhat of a team and you're bounced off ideas. So I think as I kind of matured a little bit, it took a while that I like that. So
yeah, the team aspect of it?
Yeah, I never like to be... I don't like being told no. No is a very bad word. And we talk about this, you experience it. And it happened to me when I worked for a company, because I did for the first 13 years, was that I would come up with an idea.
Yes.
They would shit on it. And then 2 months later, somebody else would come up with the idea.
It happens. I cannot tell you how many times over the course of my career in education, somebody else has rode the coattails of my idea and smelled like a rose. Right. That is glistening in the sun for the district to see.
And you know how obsessive I get, like with drone laws or something, right? I won't fucking let it go.
I know.
And it'll be my life mission.
Well, that's the ADHD
to
part.
To ruin you.
Well,
like it'll be my life's mission. And
why? Why? What do you think that drives? Because, do you think that's the ADHD part of it? Like
no, that's
part of it, or do you think?
So it's weird. I have a different view of justice, right? When like I am definitely for justice, but it might be a little bit different than it's not a social, societal thing.
Okay, it's not socially acceptable.
No, it's not like a social science type of injustice. You know, it's just injustice when the taking credit thing really aggravates the hell out of me. But yeah, so. And I can be a strong. I'm only really a bully when I know I'm right, which is not that often. I listen. But once you start...
Why, you're not that right often? You're saying you're not right that often?
Well, that's just a humble thing to say.
That's wrong. He's actually wrong. You are wrong about that, which is ironic. You're right about a lot of things.
Right.
You know a lot of things. You've taught me a lot of things he reads a lot. I know you're humble, but you deserve that because you've enlightened me to many things since we began this journey.
So
Definitely.
I don't mind attacking someone very hard.
If you're confident about what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And but in my 35s, I would argue everything.
I told you what my first principal said to me. Why you have to come into my office like a hurricane?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to control my ADHD for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it hurt me in my life. Definitely hurt me. Yeah. I think later, only in the last, I'd say, maybe 7 or 8 years, have I really said, okay, this is what it is.
Right.
And let me see how I can channel it better.
Right.
I mean, there's no other way for me, that's the way it happened.
Well, that's happened to me about introvert. Like, I didn't understand why I hated holidays, hated Christmas, like hated Thanksgiving. And I was always around the people I love. Right. Right. And I could never understand why. I always thought it's from my childhood. I lost my mom young. But then
that's exactly what I would have said. That's where I was leaning.
So then, but at one point I was like, no, that's not, I'm okay with all that. So it's not that. I don't know what it is. And then, I came up with, somebody posted a blog when blogs were even more bigger, about introvert, and I read it. I was like, holy cow. Like, it just...
And you were checking the boxes?
Yeah, and I read, like, I literally, up on my shelves right here, there's probably 7 books on introverts.
Lots of books up here. You guys can't see it. Maybe one day we'll...
And there's one by Susan Cain. You only have to really read one, by Susan Cain, called Quiet. And it just explained everything. So I got obsessed with that. It actually made me help raise my son, Jacob.
Do you know
better.
OCD is a symptom of ADHD?
Yeah.
You are OCD.
Yeah.
About certain things.
Yeah.
Not like the washing the hands, not the only
my OCD is certainly a strength.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like, I'll dive into, like, learning about the BOE. I'll just dive into it.
It is a strength. Yeah. I think that is a strength. That's why I think ADHD is a strength.
Well, that's where we're going back, right? We got off track a little bit.
But that's what it is.
It is.
Superpower. And I think that so many of the things that I've been able to do are because of my ADHD. Right. And once I learned how to handle it and to, like...
You got to know what it is.
Almost.
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay, all right.
And that's why I disagree when people say, everything has a diagnosis. No, diagnoses are good so you know how to fix it. So words are important.
I totally...
everybody has ADHD. No, if you know you have it, then you can make it a strength.
And, back to diagnosis, when we were younger, they call us the quiet generation. Like the women of our generation, we were not diagnosed because... it presented so differently than the boys. Boys were, running around the classroom and they couldn't be controlled and they were, mischievous and it was, they couldn't focus. It was obvious, right? It was like in your face ADHD. But the girls were quieter and unfocused and sort of daydream. And, so they were called lazy or really social. Right. Or, just unfocused and you're not really into school.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never realized that. Yeah, how it's
when
different.
They, for a very long time, this I do know about ADHD. For a very long time, there were 2 different kinds. There was ADD and ADHD. So they separated it. The hyperactive part of it was a totally different person. I think it
still should be different, but...
Well, they do differentiate. Okay. They just say inattentive type. Okay. So it's called ADHD. The whole umbrella is ADHD.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like the ADD part. But
okay, I get it. But... don't you think you're hyperactive about certain parts? Like, I know that even though I may not always be hyperactive, there are parts of me like that 0 to 60 about certain things. Sure. Like that is for me, a hyperactive aspect of me. I'm not always like that. So I think taking the HD away altogether and just it almost doesn't paint the whole picture. No, so I get why they changed it.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. There's a going back to the strengths. There's a great book by Malcolm Gladwell. I forget if it's called Outliers or David and Goliath. That's both of his books, but one of those books talk about this, and the book is both titles will really work with what I'm going to be talking about. So it's really about, the book is about how the struggles that you have in life can become your strengths. So they give examples like, I think it was the Book of Success but Branson from Virgin.
Virgin Airlines.
Virgin Airlines. So he had dyslexia, right? And he credits, so what happens is when you have a hard struggle when you're younger, you develop these skills that kids who don't have these type of struggles can't develop.
You compensate.
You compensate.
Absolutely.
And but what's interesting, Richard Branson credits a lot of his success because of a lot of his struggles.
Okay.
But when they ask every single person if you would have the same thing for your children, these struggles with the success,
they say yes.
They say no. Because that's how much of a struggle it was for them. That's how much it impacted them. Every single one. Isn't that amazing?
I guess.
Like a speech issue or anything. Yeah. Yeah. So every single person.
Wow.
Really, sounds like David and Goliath, actually. Yeah, that's more of a David and Goliath thing.
That makes me think about, like, I've done a lot of work with individuals with autism, and people always, not always, but there's very often, like, if you could cure your child's autism, would you? And that's such a hard question to answer because it changes who your child is, right? Like some of
changes
the most,
who you are.
Right. Some of the most amazing people I know have autism.
Right, of course.
And their autism is part of what makes them unbelievably amazing human beings,
And
right?
a lot of it's undiagnosed as adults. We can talk.
Right. We've talked about that before also. Autism is a spectrum disorder, and many people have not been diagnosed.
And they don't realize.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's interesting that people would say, no, they wouldn't want anybody. I mean, I get it. You don't want your children to suffer the way that you suffered. You never want your children to have to go through what you always want.
But they're proud that they got through it. Like it's not an embarrassment. So it's interesting that, but that's how much of an effect that these things have on people when they're younger.
Think about some of the greats that we know, like James Earl Jones. He was a stutterer, severe stutterer, and his stuttering is what led him to be, a speak. Because when you stutter, they tell you to practice rehearsed speeches and poems and, read scripts because you don't have to think about what you're going to say and say it at the same time. That's where the stuttering comes in. So when it's already prepared for you, you can do it more fluidly and more fluently. And he became this unbelievably great actor, speaker, orator because of his disability.
I mean,
that's crazy.
Going back
and thankful for us, like it's such a blessing.
And going back to ADHD, I mean, looking back as a child, like I was lost in school. No, like there was no comprehension. It was fucking terrible.
And they didn't help you at all?
No, I was just like, I would hear somebody.
That makes me, as a special educator, so.
I would hear somebody talk and have no idea what the hell they're saying. There was nothing until college because I started taking things that I was more interested in.
That's what the problem is.
College, I was fine. College is when I enjoyed learning.
That's why, and honestly, I know we've talked about this, and I know this is where I become very passionate with the Board of Education. You become more passionate in certain aspects of the Board of Education. I become more passionate when it comes to curriculum.
And you made me calm down with my thoughts.
Well, but because for me, it's about, I know I did so poorly in our school districts, schools. I almost failed out. Like, I literally was the bare minimum achiever. I was, my parents called me an underachiever. I wasn't an underachiever. I was really ADHD. And I was ADHD in a traditional learning setting.
Sure.
I didn't know how to take notes. I didn't care about what we were learning about.
Yeah, same here.
When I look back on it, the only classes that I truly remember are the ones that I was really interested in, or the ones that were taught in a more differentiated way. Humanities, psychology, my music class, industrial arts. I loved those classes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mr. Hanley, I loved all those classes, Mr. Michaud, because they didn't just stand up and lecture to us, and we were then required to decide what was important to write down, right?
Right.
I have no idea. Don't leave me, or at that age, to decide what was important that's coming out of your mouth. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was the same way.
And that's why. Yeah. That's why you didn't pay attention. Or one of the reasons why. And that's what people don't get now. Like, we can't go back to that traditional way, especially now. These kids don't learn that way.
Right.
They don't learn that way.
You know, the funny thing is, too, that I didn't realize until my 30s that the only way I learn is from reading, not listening. And that was a big revelation for me. Like, so when I started reading at 30, like, so I always read fiction books. You don't really learn from fiction books, right? And I was a creative writer.
Now we do. See, that it's gotten better from that. Now a lot of the curriculum is fiction.
No, I'm sorry. I don't like fiction books, but that's what I was forced to read.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
right. And like you get a book, you read a fiction book.
It is all fiction books.
And I don't have much of suspension of disbelief. Like, that's not in me. Like, I don't want to pretend that someone's flying on a magic carpet someplace, right? So it was so
when you read,
that's an introvert thing.
You don't get,
but that's an introvert
the imagination aspect of it. You can't get into.
Well, introverts think reading fiction is a waste of time. And every movie I watch, if it's not nonfiction, it could be. It's based on a nonfiction. But so I didn't realize until I was 30 that, holy crap, I can retain everything from reading. So what happened was I went on this reading. I used to read 25 books a year because I was just learning. It was just
sponge. You were like a sponge.
A sponge. Everything was just boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
When I
start
every class, and even as a college professor, I ask them what kind of learners they are.
Yeah.
I want to know how you learn best. And I always deliver instruction with that in mind. I will always do that because I always say to my students, no matter what grade they are, no matter what age they are, no matter what year in college they are, that I'm going to teach you the way that I was not taught.
Right.
Because it was so detrimental.
Yeah. Me too.
And my college career was now, I mean, of course but again, then I look back on it and I'm like, maybe it was all part of the ADHD. Like, when I got to college, I was like a social, oh my God, I barely went to school. I barely went to class. Yeah. I mean, I hung on by the skin of my teeth. It took me a long time to finish undergrad. But then when I got to my master's programs, I got a 4.0 in both of my master's degrees. Yeah. You know why? Because I took my classes online. And I worked at my pace. The way that I knew how to work. And I had to extrapolate the information. So I was able to use what I knew were my strengths at that point, and it worked wonders for me. I would have been
under the correct supervision. I would have been much better being homeschooled.
Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't need the social aspect. I was a good athlete, whatever, even kickball. Like, after school, I wouldn't need the social aspect in school. Hurt me, if anything.
Wow,
because,
me too.
Because
I absolutely agree.
I couldn't retain. But if you would have said, Rob, okay, go in a room and read this, I would have been much better. I think I would have excelled being homeschooled.
But
with the proper supervision.
So I'm gonna actually go back at you for that and just say,
and this is the 80s and the 70s, not now, how they just,
So I'm going to say to you, yes, as the classroom setup was back
when that's what I'm talking
in school,
about.
You definitely would have done better as a homeschooled child. But if the system was prepared and worked, for the kids rather than for themselves, then you wouldn't need to be homeschooled. And that's I think the problem now is that we're still trying to have the kids meet us rather than us as a school system meeting where these kids need to be. And I know that people will say, oh, but the kids are whatever, everything is an issue now. But I don't know that that's necessarily any different than it was back then. I think we're just more aware of it.
Yeah, we're aware. We're more accepting.
I mean, I can look back and point out quite a few students who I went to school with who were autistic.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And were not diagnosed.
Yeah.
And had they been given the supports that they needed, would have been much more successful.
Yeah. I was in a much smaller town than you, so we had a little bit of it, but not like East Brunswick would have back then.
I know. I can close my eyes and I can literally picture like 3 or 4 people. And it's sad to me because now, in the position that I'm in right now, I wish I could go back and be like, scream at the educators and be like, well, they need help. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, we're literally setting these kids up for failure. How did you not see this? It's like a neon sign.
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. But it's a cycle, and it's never going to, unfortunately, education as a whole is reactive, not proactive.
Right.
We always react to the stuff that comes flying at us rather than stopping the stuff from flying at us to begin with.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a vicious cycle. I wonder going back if I would have done so much, but like, don't you wonder what your trajectory would have been like had you gotten the supports?
It would have been much different.
Yeah. I mean, I think about for me, it's time. And you know how I feel about time. Like, time is that commodity you can't get back. It doesn't matter who you are.
I think what happened with me was struggling with so much as a child that, and this might be patting myself on the back, I think I'm able to critically think different than other people. Like, I just have, like, I see some of the smartest people that I know, and I talk to them with certain things. It's just,
yes,
they trust authority so much that it's because they trusted their teachers so much, and they trusted everything. And then they trusted their profession. They never questioned anything.
Like sheep being led like a herd.
I don't want to call it sheep. I actually don't like that word. No, it's not sheep. It's just that maybe because they were able to retain information so much easier that they never had to question it. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. It's not sheep. It's they just trust. Like, you have to trust people. To some point.
Yes, you do. Yeah. I mean, of course you have to trust people, but not blindly.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, blind trust is not good trust.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't explain it well enough, but it's I think it goes back to I think it's the David and Goliath book. The more that you struggle, the more skills you develop that other people who didn't struggle with certain things can't develop. I think critical thinking is one of them.
And street smarts as well. Don't you?
Yeah, I think it all kind of goes together. Yeah.
It's part of the same package.
Yeah,
because you couldn't rely just on the cerebral aspect of everything. You had to rely also on the pragmatic aspect of things as well.
Yeah, pragmatic's actually the right word.
Right? Like the way that things were happening around you and the context of certain things and all of that.
Yeah, like I'm often amazed how some of the smartest people I know get gaslit so easy. Oh, my
God. Or how some of the smartest people we know are so naive about like certain social situations.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's interesting to me as well. Like, something that would be so common sense to you and I is otherworldly or not even thought about. Like, just isn't even a concept to some. Yeah. That's that's just fascinating to me.
What's interesting, what happened to me over the last year is that, because of artificial intelligence, it's so easy to fact check things now that you really can't get away with everything. My ADHD wouldn't allow me to go on Google, pull up 5 articles, make sense of it, even though I felt I was at least right. Now, when I feel that I'm right, it's so easy to fact check. Where am I? You can ask, where am I wrong? What am I not thinking about? Like, and like some people say, well, things were better. We had this argument, like things were better back then. I know somebody who lived there. Then you're like, let me see the statistic. But like it's easier
100%.
And I think so. So for people like people like myself, it's easier to defend my thought process because getting the research is so much easier now.
It makes me think of something that you and I have talked about very often, is that you said that you don't like when people, what did you say before? You don't like when people are you
bullying.
right.
Right.
But what bothers me is when people think they're getting over on others.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That,
Well, it all goes together.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like that bothers me. And it bothers me when people can get over on others.
Right.
Like that. So that's where my OCD comes
Right.
in. I become like enraged. Like I see you. Like I see you. I see
Right.
through you. Others may not, but I do. So please don't lump me with,
Right.
you know,
and
the others.
it's always interesting. It really apparent during political season because people will type this as like, this doesn't seem right, like I had no, so you copy and paste it. Can you do a deep search,
Right.
On this? And so what happens is there's a lot of half truths and then the rest are assumptions about everything.
Right.
And, but it'll actually pull up. Here's a link where they said that. Here's a link when they didn't say it quite like this, and it's just so it just levels the playing field. I think the scatterbrains like us are at an advantage now because we have somebody that. And
also because this is where a great thing with ChatGPT and all the AI is also because for me, I need to extrapolate the important information because I'm going to get lost in the weeds when I'm reading it, right?
Yeah.
Like I know I'm going to have to read it 3-4 times to find, like, that's just the way that I am. I can do it, but it will take me,
right.
I've learned that reading out loud for me is is something that I need to do to help me, really comprehend things. To correct my reading or my writing or anything like that, I have to be doing it out loud. But with ChatGPT and those, you can pull out like, okay, so here's the text. Can you pull out from this?
Yeah.
With this focus, the important parts.
Right.
And then it gives it to me afterwards. So like I'll do a one read, but then I'll be like, ooh, and then I'll say, okay, do this for me and give me what's really important on it. That's a really good tool for like AI for somebody who has ADHD.
Yeah, it's interesting how so many people will post something with such confidence without checking it on AI. No, like it's so easy. There's no excuse to give out false information anymore. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, like
but politicians do it all the time.
No, I know.
But,
but that's their job is the gaslighting all of us. Sure, I mean that's
so it's our job to figure out. It's the truth.
But even some people that it's just fun. It's just it's easier to have. It's nice when your biases are confirmed, right? So he's like, nah, this can't be. This is not true. But 2 years ago, you wouldn't have done the research. Been able to.
Well, did we talk about this already? The publication that's up in the city that I teach in, and it's one of the only publications still left in the city, and it's behind a paywall.
Oh, right.
So there's only like a snippet of the article, but yet. There's like 675 comments talking about everything that everybody knows about it. And when you go to click on the article, you literally
you can't see anything. So people are full of
Nobody's paying to read that article that made comments. They're commenting based off of just that little snippet, and they're acting like experts.
Right.
So it happens all the time. It's really shameful. It's funny. It's what's fueling our world.
Yep.
Right? Fueling our world. It's sad. So on the, we're talking about how we comprehend information and learn and all that. But what I have found as an adult, as I've gotten older and realized how my ADHD really fuels my life, is that I need to find many different ways to fuel my dopamine.
Oh, yeah, that's dangerous.
Right? But productive ways of fueling my dopamine. And I honestly feel like this podcast is one of them.
All right. Well, I think we covered it all today.
I do want to say one thing, and I'd love to reach out to our listeners and see if we have 2 more chairs over here that you never see, but we are welcoming anybody who is a dopamine expert, an ADHD expert, to come on and join, because we would love to shed some light on some of the topics that we've sort of talked about, some of the struggles that we have, the struggles. Both of my daughters are ADHD. Most of my family is ADHD, quite frankly. And I believe it's definitely there's a genetic disposition.
And even I would love an introvert person, because I found that most divorces happen when there's an introvert and an extrovert married.
Interesting.
Because in the beginning, it's cute. He's so outgoing. I love it. And then the guy's like, oh, it's so great that, just quiet and reserved. He brings me down. Then what happens is after a while,
they can't level each other off, right?
You get sick of it because, you have a quiet house and then somebody walks in, like your principal said, it's like a fucking tornado,
like a
tornado coming in, and it just changes.
Yeah, it does change everything.
Yeah, it's just change. And an extrovert always feels like they have to get a reaction out of you. Right. And
that's gotta make for how does fighting in a situation like that happen?
But it's everything. It's like, come on, why don't you smile? Come on, let's like I can have when I'm having the best time, I'm like this. Like I look fucking miserable, but
why?
But I'm thinking, I'm enjoying. Like if I watch a comedy show that I think is funny as shit, you never hear me laugh. I just sit there and I'm thinking about it, how brilliant it is, how smart these guys are.
Breaking it down in your head, like you're like, not just in the moment enjoying.
No, I'm like, this guy's fucking brilliant. This woman's brilliant. Oh my god, how do you put that together? Or
You're deep,
I'm just a very. But like my friend Eddie, it's funny. Like he's a total extrovert. So
I can't wait to meet Eddie. By the way, Eddie.
So when we're together,
Eddie.
We go out to dinner a lot. He's trying to get the reaction. He's not happy until he gets a reaction out of the waiter.
Yeah.
And me, I'm like sweating. Like fucking just leave him the fuck alone. We're like the odd couple. Yeah. Yeah. So
Felix and Oscar.
Like he needs a reaction out of somebody to.
I am a non-reaction type person.
Yeah,
I don't
get
need
anything.
Just let me leave my dinner.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's funny because my wife likes Eddie because my wife's the same way.
Okay.
Yeah. She's a quiet extrovert.
Yeah.
So that's why it works.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
She likes when other people are extroverts more.
Okay. She likes to be there and enjoy she likes to enjoy the accolades.
She'll nag them on, like she'll get them going more. Like she gives them permission to be like that. Yeah.
She's a good audience.
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome.
But anyway.
So please come, reach out to us.
If you're an expert on something,
anything,
let us
email
know.
us, our website on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're starting a TikTok.
Yep.
We
just for out loud.
Just for out loud, not for anything else, just for us. We really enjoy doing this and we want to bring it to the masses. So if you would love to join us in our 2 extra seats, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Posters.